Hey everybody, welcome to Vocabulary for Ugly Vegetables. All of the words this week, or most of the words this week, have to do with gardening because in our story we have a little girl and her mother that are growing vegetables, and her neighbors are growing flower gardens. So our first word right here is a verb, which means an action, and it is bloom, blooming, or bloomed. Because remember, on the verb, we can add the ing, we can add the ed. And so when you add the ing, it means that it's happening like right now. The ed means that it happened in the past. And the ed is very tricky because it actually has three sounds. And sometimes they say even a fourth sound. It can sound like ed, or it can sound like d, or it can sound like t. But you have to listen to how that verb changes the time in a sentence. And that's how you know that you're adding that ed, even if it sounds like that T sound at the end. But this word is bloom, blooming, bloomed. And it means to produce or grow a flower or flowers on a bush or a plant. So as you see these pictures right here, both of these flowers are blooming open. Before they're open, they're a bloom, and now they're blooming open. Our next word is also a verb. So again, you see the ing and the ed. So we have shovel as a base word, shoveling, shoveled. And what a shovel is it's a very wide scooped tool that's used for lifting and or throwing things like dirt, rocks, or snow. So in a garden, it makes it a lot easier because you can dig more up and you can move more dirt at one time. And if you notice, the crazy dinosaur is throwing snow above his head and all around, and he's got a shovel and he's supposed to be shoveling the snow, and it looks like he's just like skating around and playing and having a good time. But that is what a shovel, and it's an action. So this word can kind of work as a noun because you can be using a shovel, which is a thing, or you can be doing the action, which is shoveling with the shovel. All right. Our next word is scent, and it is a favorable smell usually. You can also say that a scent can be a strong, maybe unfavorable, but not really. When you have a scent, it is usually a favorable smell, meaning that people generally like it. And if you look at the picture, Scooby-Doo is probably smelling Scooby snacks, and he's like, smell that. And then the young lady is putting on perfume and she says, smell you later, because she's going to have a beautiful scent to her. And if you sidle up to your mom, get close to your mom or grandma's or grandpa's, aunties, sometimes uncle, they will have a scent that you can smell, and it's very familiar and it's a favorable, happy smell to you. The next word is tough. And what tough means is firm, not easily chewed, or able to take a great amount of force to break it apart. A person can be tough. Meat can be tough. The skin on an orange, like you see in the picture, can be tough to get off. Vegetables, if they're not cooked all the way, can be tough. So if you notice, he's having a very hard time cutting that piece of meat because it's very tough, firm, not easily to be moved or broke apart. Okay, our next word is wrinkle, and it is a verb. It's wrinkling or wrinkled because you can add the ing and the ed to the past tense. And what wrinkles are they're lines that form on the surface of something. You can have wrinkles in clothes. You can have wrinkles on your face. The dog can have that kind of dog, can have lots of floppy wrinkles that come down. And they're just lines or folds that happen on the surface of something. If you notice, when that older woman is not making her mouth wide open and stuff, you don't see the wrinkles as much. The next one is plain. Now, this is not like the plane that goes up in the sky. This is like plain vanilla yogurt. And what it means is not decorated, very simple, not elaborate or ornate or anything added to it, no frills. So they say plain vanilla ice cream is very plain. Did you hear me use that word plain when I said it? Because it's no frills. And then if you look at the young lady, she is like no makeup. I'm just plain. Once girls start adding makeup to their face, they're no longer plain because they've added all different colors to them. A house can be plain because it doesn't have anything up on the walls. Classrooms can be really plain. Mine is not. Mr. Young's is not. Mrs. Colda's is not. But they can be real plain where the teachers don't put anything up and they don't decorate. All right. Our next word is muscle or muscles. And that's the part of the human body that actually causes movement. Everybody goes, well, your bones cause you to move. And actually, it's your muscles that cause you to move. They get an electrical stimulation from your brain and it causes them to contract or fold, come in or go out. And what that does is it causes you to move. And if you notice, both SpongeBob and Arnold Schwarzenegger have lots of muscles on their body. And here's another word. Our base word is nod. So we have nodding and nodded. And if you notice, nod has a short vowel, ah. So what you do is you double the D and add the ing. Not a long vowel, a short vowel. So if you have consonant, vowel, consonant, N-O-D, consonant, vowel, consonant, you double the D and add the ing. You double the D and add the ed. All right. And what nodding means is to lower and raise the head slightly or briefly. So whenever somebody asks you a question and your head kind of dips up and down, you have nodded at them. All right. So that's our words this week. You can go on to Spelling City and practice vocabulary. You can go through these slides as much as you want to and use these words when you're writing. And the goal is that by the end of the week, you have learned these 8 words and you're going to recognize them no matter where you see them or when you hear them. All right. So have a great day. And I will talk to you tomorrow with some sentences.